Hey, 420 investors. Today is a great day for me, not for the market, not for the cannabis stocks. I'm sorry to say. I'll talk to you more about why it's a great day for me in just a moment. But we are down 1.3%. I'm just going to hit reload and make sure that's correct. 1.2% now, 967. That's down 0.4% year to date now for the global cannabis stock index. The S&P 500 is up a little bit right now. So we are the opposite of yesterday, really doing a lot worse than the market. The big news today is Trulieve report, and I'll talk more about that later. I've reviewed the 10K. I've posted the press release. I've listened to the call. I haven't posted it yet, and I like it. I like it a lot, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. Um, just because I like it a lot, it can be like the cannabis sector, kind of stinky. And I get it. There is no urgency right this moment for short-term traders to be involved at all, in my opinion. Uh, Long-term investors, I think, can be involved right now, but they need to manage their expectations. Volumes are very low. So today we have, it looks like, uh, 8 names, similar to yesterday, above a million in trading volume, an hour or so into the day. And slot number 49 is a stunning 16,000, which rounds to zero. So the volumes are very light. Looking at the price action, not really seeing too much to talk about. I like to call out the double digit movers, and I'm seeing one. It's a name I talk about typically on Saturdays. Wow, is it bad? Graham F. Maybe we'll look at that today. I don't know. Down 10% on $23,000. But if you catch me on Saturdays, you'll know I'm laying low on the name and I'm looking for, I'm not going to go over it today, but I'm looking for not necessarily for the gaps below to get filled, but I'm looking for volume to pick up, and I'm looking for the CEO of the future maybe to call me. And she has my request, and I've been told that she will. No, she hasn't. Am I mad? No, not really. Am I surprised? Not at all. So Graham F could be really interesting. I'm not involved at all right now. So that's the action broadly. On the focus list, I sorted it by uh, from best to worst. No names are moving more than 5%. The middle is doing better, the median is doing better than the overall market today. So, why am I in such a good mood? Is it because I just had a birthday? No, although I did like that. Is it because my wife's birthday is tomorrow? No. So I don't like to spend a lot of time talking about non-cannabis stocks, but as you guys and gals can appreciate, I think, I don't ever trade cannabis stocks. Sometimes that really bums me out. Not recently, but uh, you know, I do trade. I'm very active trader. And one of the names I bought this month, this past week, was called Kimball International. And I think you'll appreciate this part of the story. I wasn't planning on telling you, but I flew out there, my wife remembers, to Chicago, and I went and visited them. Uh, I don't remember exactly why or exactly when, but it was while I was running 420 Investor and not for professional reasons per se, personal reasons. And I've traded the stock off and on over the years, and I don't know why, but I put a five. I mean, I do know why. So, I can tell you why if you care, but I put a 5% position in my IRAs. That's a decent amount of money at 680 this past week. And if you see, it's at 1230 right now. Why? It's being acquired at effectively 1290, but I'll talk about that in a moment. And let me just show you, I always talk about, let me see if I can get to, okay, if you see this arrow here, it left a gap early in the year. And I always talk about those gaps getting filled. The gap was filled Monday. I bought a little bit before it got filled and a lot afterwards. And yesterday it closed below the gap at the low for recently, not the 1 year low. And today, soaring on huge volume. So, without really getting into it, except it's a cheap stock, furniture, boring. But I'm not really going to get into it. But what I want to tell you is not only did I sell it in my IRA this morning, I bought the acquiring company, HNI. And HNI wasn't on my watch list. There's another name that I've made money on called MLKN, Miller Knoll. And actually, yeah. So I used to follow Milken. Uh, what's the name of it? Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, Miller Knoll. It used to be called Miller something else, but I call it Milken. Not to get confused with Barry Milken or whatever his name is. But uh, I do follow that one. I've made money in it. And I noticed the CEO bought a bunch, and that helped me to make money just when people figure that out. So, anyway, on HNI, it is down a ton today. Huge gap. I added it to my watch list. And if you're bored with this, I'm sorry. But the reason I'm talking about it is I think you can better appreciate all that I do for you in cannabis stocks by listening to what I do for myself and learning from it. Not necessarily that you should ever trade this stock. That's not what I'm saying. But I bought it big time, 20% of my portfolio at 24.70. What? The low is 24.60. How did you do that? I bought it in pre-market and I sold it now. I also put it, that's in my trading account, 20%. I also put a large position in my IRA, and I've reduced it, but it's still big. And as a matter of fact, I sold some right at the high, 27.48. The high today is 27.49, and I bought it back at 26.70. So net, my cost right now is up a little bit from that 24.70 area in the morning. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about. Let me get into cannabis stocks if there's anything to talk about. Hmm. So, well, there are no charts really to talk about. I'm just double checking right now. Yeah, I see CEA is weak and I've reduced it and it's below where I reduced it and I like it. I could add to it. Let's look at that chart. Why not? Uh, on the 6 month chart, I have support at 90 and it did trade there yesterday. And right now we're right above it. And on the 1 year chart, you can see there's really beneath it, 85 cents is solid support. So I would like to buy more CEA. It's not in the index. It's not real liquid. Only 2,800 is traded today. So I have to be careful for you. Um, the next one I want to talk about is probably True Leave, but let me just check. I'm going through all the stocks right now. Oh, that wasn't a real yawn. Uh, so that's going to be the last. Mm, yeah, that's going to be the last one today. And the stock is down. Oh no, I own it and it's down. Ah, it's down 4%. So their quarter was a little worse than expected, especially on the profitability. They provided guidance for next quarter that is flat to this quarter. And I'm just checking. I know it's written up in my preview that I shared on Saturday, um, or was that Sunday, whatever it was. I'm just checking without opening that up. I'm looking at my data, and uh, so we missed by a little bit, and it was supposed to go up 1%, and it's going to be flat. So it really is down again next quarter. So all the negative people can find plenty there to hate True Leaf. I would just say, well, they liked it at 16 and now it's at 6. They hate it. Now we can step back and look at the 3 year, and we still haven't traded down quite to the low, but I think we're building a bottom. It's possible we could make a new low. The stock looks really cheap to me. And you might ask, well, why aren't you buying more? It's not big in beat the global cannabis stock index. It's kind of market weighted there. Huh? So I would just say, well, it is huge and beat the American Cannabis Operator Index. It's close to 20%, just under. And I don't have it in there because I prefer Air Wellness, Ascend a little bit, Columbia Care a lot, and Lowell. And so I may add to it, but it just begs the question, what do I sell? Do I want to sell the rest of my Ascend? Maybe. I still think Ascend is cheaper than Trulieve when you adjust for the margins, but it's close, and I may do that. Um, I'm also waiting. The volume is pretty. I'm going to pull up the 3 month chart. The volume is pretty high today, considering we're only an hour and 12 minutes into the day, and I may bring my resistance back, or actually, I don't know if I've had it that low to 650. Um, did we leave a gap today? Yes. The low yesterday was 647, and the high today is 645. So I'm going to draw that arrow. You can watch this TBI guy at work. We get a green arrow, and I'm going to make it thicker so even I can see it. So there is a little bit of a reason to buy now. We haven't made a new low. Is that good? I don't know. But we're down at the lows, and we're a little off of them right now. We did bounce at 610. That's the name of the loop that goes around inner Houston, loop 610. I love that number. I don't love it as much as 420, but I do love that number. And that is the low of the day. Does it mean anything? No. But I do kind of like that. I can remember that. Yay. So, maybe sell Ascend. I don't know. I'm looking at the um, thing right now. I don't think the numbers are going to come down a lot. So I did kind of warn at New Cannabis Ventures this weekend about how GTI's numbers came down a ton, and as I wrote to you about as well. But I don't think, I'm going to wait and see. But I don't think they're coming down a lot. I think people hate this stock now. They used to love it, and I think that there's a lot to like. I don't think the analysts are exactly right about their margins, and that was one of the problems this quarter. And right now, it's 3.8% of uh, the Beat the Global Cannabis Stock Index model portfolio. There's one that's smaller, and that's Ascend, which is up from my purchase price. And I think Ascend may look a little cheaper, but what truly is more tradable. It's in the index, and it's also, I think, um, going to be quicker to move. But maybe Ascend's better, but maybe it doesn't matter to me. If Ascend goes up a lot and True Leaf goes up a lot but less, it's not the end of my world. So that's what we're talking about. It's my second smallest position. When I look at the largest positions, Organogram, which I added to yesterday, 18%. Village Farms, 12.4%. Bigger than that, Columbia Care, 12.9%. So there are some companies to sell, but I'm not sure that any of those make sense. So with that, let's take a look at the Global Cannabis Stock Index again. And the S&P 500 is up 0.1%, and we are down 1.4%, 965, just off the low of the day of 963. Let's sort one more time, and we'll call it a wrap. So it still looks like Cresco's in the middle at down 0.5%. That's much better than 1.4%. Y'all have a nice day. There's no names that are up much at all. Nothing's up 2% or more. Nothing's down 5% or more, but Columbia Care, I'm sorry, True Leave is close. Take care. Bye.